All right, this is the copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. And this video is not for any monetary gain. It is explicitly for the reasons stipulated in the Copyright Act of 1976 under Section 107.
You have to stop now. You're scaring the children.
They should be scared. Oh, yes, they should. Their beautiful, pure little minds have been corrupted with lies, lies. All this talk of a modern God or no God. There is one God, the God of the Israelites. And he is a stern and vengeful God. And we have been mocking him far too long. And now he demands retribution in blood.
I understand that in a few generations from now, people that look like me will serve your tribe.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because Africa. I know we have differences.
Right. Okay.
We have differences, but I see that. And I just want to ask you guys politely to not be as oppressive as we were. That's all I ask.
Whenever we have the rule,
You're right.
we're ruling over you.
That's
Right?
right.
Okay. Not to be oppressive as you were with us, as you see
Now
what
the
y'all
thing
done.
is, if you guys are, I don't fucking blame you. Pardon me.
And that's who the true Hebrew Israelites are. I'm a Christian. But I find it sickening that I've been at a church where there's a picture of a white man hanging on the wall that is not my Messiah. I will gladly and humbly bow to the true color of the Messiah. I would rather bow to the true Messiah than a false image. And to the African Americans, Native Americans, the 12 tribes that don't know who you are, now you do.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
Giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four quarters on the earth that be likened to the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners, and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Ayashar Barazal, prophet of doom from the Indianapolis branch of the Great Millstone, coming back at you with another lesson that is edifying to the elect body of the nation of Israel. All right, first, a couple of things. In that second clip, despite what the we just wanted to give you the content of what was being said, even though it says that the Jews are black. Great Millstone does not teach that. Okay, so just want to put a disclaimer out there. That video is clearly for the content of what was said by the individuals in it, not the caption itself. Okay, we teach all the time. We are all shades of brown, and because of the scattering, all over the earth, we do look like the heathen nations. All right, you can have some so-called white people or Edomites that are actually Israelites. Same thing with Chinese. All right, same thing with Japanese. All right, so the Israelites are not all black. All right, so I just want to make that disclaimer. All right, the second thing, you know, um, you might be asking, well, why did he put that clip of Blade asking that motherfucker was he out of his mind? Well, because that's exactly what I was thinking when that Edomite had the audacity to say or ask that when we come into rulership that we're not as oppressive as they were. He's got a lot of damn nerve to ask that. Okay, but nevertheless, it is what it is. So I'll go ahead and get started. This is the book of James, chapter 2, verse 13. It says, "For he shall have judgment without mercy that have showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment." All right, get it in the NLT, which is right next to it. I'll be working from the blue letter today. It says, "There will be no mercy for those who have not shown mercy to others. But if you have been merciful, God will be merciful when he judges you." Well, we know Esau Edom's hatred is perpetual, okay? According to Ezekiel 35, 5 and 6, as well as Amos 1 and 11. That continual hatred to this very day. All right. And he's going to have to pay for it. All right. One way or the other. They've shown you in movies, as that clip showed. They know what they have done to us. And they know that, what they call karma or, what we call recompense, according to the scriptures, is coming back to them. And they're scared. you know, real scared. Yeah, just think more what the guy said. Please, not be as oppressive to us as we were to you. Bullshit. Like Blaze said, motherfucker, out of your damn mind. For real. That was really bold for him to say that while they're still doing the stuff to this very day. Okay. So yeah, just I was gonna do this video a little time ago, but just to prove the point, got some more ammo. Elon Musk post yesterday. All right, this is before I get to that, you have to pay for what you did. This is Colossians chapter 3 and verse 25, and it reads, "But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done, and there is no respect of persons." Okay, like the NLT says. But if you do what is wrong, you will be paid back for the wrong you have done. For Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai has no favorites. Yeah, especially you, Esau Edom. You know, Malachi, 1 and uh, was it 1 and 2? Let me get that. We know he says, Esau I've Jacob I've loved, Esau have I hated. It's also repeated in Romans 9 and 13. Okay, yeah, you're going to have to pay for what you did. All right, yeah. In Malachi 1, I'll start at 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. Verse 2, "I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, Wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai." He says, "Yet I have loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage to waste for the dragons of the wilderness." All right. So yeah, he's gonna turn all his land into waste, especially America. Okay, especially America will be inhabited by nothing but desert creatures. Yeah, but yeah, this guy is really gonna have to pay for the stuff that he's done. You know, talking about will you be less oppressive on us as we were to you? Well, like I said, they know. Let me get this. It's from Elon Musk. yesterday, one of the brothers put it in the chat. He says, if current trends continue, whites will go from being a small minority of the world population today to virtually extinct. No, dude, you're leaving for good. All right. Then one of these people's posted, white people are on the verge of extinction. That's biblical, because you are the biblical Edomites. All right. So they got this post, this meme here. Says white people be like, we got to help the minorities, and you see they're showing themselves outnumbered on this post. Then it goes on to say white, so-called white people on the verge, and you're not white. You are the red Edomite, as described in Genesis 25 and 25, because your blood shows forth through your skin. Now, and white, when you go into the etymology of that word, it means without moral impurity, and the world knows damn well that's not true about you. You have no morals. Okay. Isaiah 26 and 10 say you will not learn righteousness, even though you've been shown favor. Get the fuck out of here with that white shit. It goes on to say global population of white people 100 years ago, roughly 35%, 50 years ago, roughly 20%, 25 years ago, 15%, today just 8%. White people are the minorities and must take their countries back. No more tolerance, no more suicidal empathy. And this is on that uh, X. All right, someone that posted under Elon Musk post. But again, uh, that this I don't know if the numbers are accurate what it's saying, but that's scriptural. Let me get that in Obadiah, the book of Obadiah, the whole book, one chapter dedicated to the destruction of Esau Edom, who is the so-called white man. All right, and it's titled in the KJV, Edom will be humbled. NLT, Edom's judgment announced. And in verse 1, it says, the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith Yahweh power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord. An ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. All right. And who is that ambassador? Okay, that ambassador was is prophesied as Gamal Abdel Nasser, who was the second Egyptian president in 1952, when he said on live television, he said that uh, the Jews left here black. All right. No, it says that there will never be peace in Israel because the Jews left here black and they came back white. All right. And we know this is just a few years after that Balfour Declaration was signed and war broke out. All right. But yeah, the second Egyptian president, Gamal Abdel Nasser, okay, was that ambassador that's prophesied here. And what did he say? He says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. And if that's not the truth today, the whole world is beginning to hate you so-called white people. Even so-called white people are starting to hate so-called white people. Look at your women. They've turned against you. That population is going down because they ain't trying to have no babies by you no more. 'Cause a lot of these women are getting blamed for you homicidal maniacs, you know, that kill anything that you don't understand or take control of, or you can't take control of. Yeah, this is all about you. And it skips down to 18. I'm gonna be a little bit all over the place, but your doom is near, and you know it. All right, Obadiah 1 and 18, and we bring this out a lot in the For Thy Violence Against Thy Brother Jacob videos. Okay, it says, and the house of Jacob, that's the southern kingdom, shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, Joseph being the northern kingdom. All right, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai have spoken it. All right. So you're going to see a few more times in this lesson where, when the Lord raises people back up, the northern and southern kingdom, and bring us back as one nation, hey, Esau, you're going to get fucked up for what you did to us and what you continue to do to us. We already see what you're doing down there in Venezuela to our folks who were scattered down there. You want that oil. You want that oil. All right. I'm reading in the NLT. Okay, it says, the people of Israel will be a raging fire, and Edom a field of dry stubble. The descendants of Joseph will be a flame roaring across the field, devouring everything. There will be no survivors. Okay, in Edom, I the Lord has spoken it. All right, so that's hey, that's everything. The people of Israel, everyone. Okay, destroying Edom for what they've done. All right, you didn't show any mercy. And you're talking about you're going to be small. No, you're going to disappear. The Lord says that in the scriptures. He is going to make you disappear after you served your captivity twice as long and twice as hard as his people have, according to Revelations chapter 18, verses 1 through 6. All right, you're going to receive double that cup. All right, and after that, you're going to disappear. This is the book of Job, chapter 4. Slakia, chapter 20, beginning in verse 4. And it says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed on earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short? And who's the wicked? Esau, Edom, according to Malachi 1 and 4. The entire nation. Okay? It says that the triumphant of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. And yeah, he's a hypocrite in a big way. Like I said, they've always known what they've done. Thomas Jefferson was one of 12 presidents of the United States that was anti-slavery but had slavery. But he knew what was coming. All right. I'm going to go read that and then come back to this scripture. This is a quote I looked up on Thomas Jefferson regarding slavery. It says, the quote, I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just, is from Thomas Jefferson's book, Notes on the State of Virginia in 1784. Not a single speech. In this passage, Jefferson expressed deep concern about the future of the United States due to the injustice of slavery, predicting that the day of reckoning was possible because God's justice cannot sleep forever. And hey, possible. It's starting to happen right now. All right. It says the full quote elaborates on the idea that the liberties of a nation are not secure when based on a moral contradiction like slavery. This motherfucker said this, and he still yet has slaves. Ain't that once again a hypocrite? All right, and you can look that up on your own, but that was the basis of it. All right, it says that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reaches into the into the clouds. His excellency, space station, rockets, all of that. Getting above the people of Israel. Okay, and his head's reaching to the clouds. That's his pride. Exalting himself. All right. It says, yet, verse 7, he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Where is he? So he shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. Verse 9, the eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. So you, after that slavery is done, you getting the fuck out of here for good, off the damn planet, just like you try to do to us. Off the damn planet. You are done, finished, kaput. You know, you don't show any mercy. This is Psalms 109. Begin in verse 13. It says, let his posterity be cut off, and in the generation following, let their name be blotted out. Posterity, that's from the progenitor of a nation to all of the offspring of that said nation. It says, uh, let it be cut off and let your name be blotted out. No, there is no reduction of you according to the scriptures. There is any elimination of you according to the scriptures. It says, verse 14, let the iniquity of his fathers be remembered with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and let not the sin of his mother be blotted out. Yeah, you Edomite women, because of your lies, and your lust for Jake. You brought a lot of death to Jake. A simple accusation on one person got a whole communities destroyed. We've shown that through 160 plus for thy violence against thy brother Jacob videos. All right, because of your lies, your sexual lust for Jake. Got people destroyed in the most brutal way. Communities destroyed in the most brutal of ways. Okay, verse 15. It says, let them be before Yahweh Bashem Yahushai continually, that he may cut off the memory of them from the earth. Once again, you are fucking out of here. Ain't no reduction. Once that slavery is done, you are out of here. Good riddance. Like the scriptures say, destroy him that has destroyed the earth. And that's what you do. And we know you're coming. We know you're coming. We know Elon has his robots and all that stuff. But like the scriptures say, when the enemy comes in like a flood, the Lord's going to raise up a standard. You're going to have a damn fight on your hands when you start messing with the elect. All right. And one that you will not win. Point blank, period. All right. You are going to be out of here after you serve. All right. Isaiah chapter 14. Israel's taunt. Okay. And this is a taunt for Babylon's king. What is Babylon? America right now. Okay. It says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. Okay, so you dumb jakes that's still trying to make a place over here, you know, uh, 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 this place is not our rest, according to Micah 2 and 10. This is not our land. Our land is where those tiny hats have, defiled it. They're defiling it now, along with those Palestinians. And that's the land that they're in right now is not all of the land. Read the scriptures. Genesis 15 and 18. Our land includes that area, which is described as the headquarters for the 12 tribes in Joshua, book of Joshua, chapters 13, verse 22. But the whole land is from the great river of Egypt all the way to the Euphrates. Okay. Point blank, period. That's the land that was promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. So it's more than just that little small piece. All right. Straight up. He says, the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob. And those strangers are Israelites. Okay. We know we became strangers when we lost our heritage. You can get that in Ephesians chapter 2, verses 11 and 12. All right. Then it goes on and says, and the people, the Israelites, shall take them, okay, our enemies, okay, beginning with Esau, Edom, and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. Y'all going into slavery. All right. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Yeah, you know what's coming. We know what's coming. All right. And the elect just hasten the day. All right. And we know, that the elect is either almost sealed or is sealed right now, because prophecies are moving. All right. We slide down to verse 21 and 22. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21. It says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. Yes, you have to pay for the sins of your fathers. Uh-huh. You are your forefathers. Whether you receive that or not. You know, all spirits come back in the third and fourth generation. All right. It says, prepare slaughter for his children. All right. For the iniquities of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. You will never be in rulership again. Okay. You won't colonize or conquer anybody anymore. All right. It says, verse 22, for I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name Edom, the remnant, your descendants, the son and nephew, saith the Lord. Okay, son, nephew, remnant. That's your entire seed line. Gone, out of here, never to return again. Sick of your shit, you know. Yeah, Elon. Yeah, no, it ain't virtually extinct. It's extinction. All right. You was all this big and bad tough dude when you talking to that sugar pants Don Lemon. You haven't run into no real men who understand this truth and know what's happening. You comfortable like that. What you scared for? Like a little bitch. You got all the money in the world. You destroying people now with those data centers. All right. What you scared for? You know? Yeah. Got to go. This is the book of Ezekiel. More evidence against you. Chapter 25. Begin at verse 12. Here it is, talking about Edom. A message for Edom. Thus saith Yahweh our power. I'm bringing in the KJV. Because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Yeah. Transatlantic slave trade, police shootings with no accountability, all the buck breaking atrocities you've done, unrighteous decrees, your laws, destruction of communities, you know, at the accusation, at the false accusation, okay, of one person. And even when you got the person, that didn't stop you from killing everybody else. All right. And you think you're just going to walk away scot free? No, it don't work that way. All right. Yeah. You revenge yourself upon them because of that birthright that you sold and then cry like a bitch. You gave it up for some raw meat, unfinished stew, lentils. You did that. Victim villain then, victim villain now. All right. Verse 13. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, I will stretch out mine hand upon Edom and will cut off man and beast from it. And I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. He's coming to destroy you by the hand of his people. Okay. He says, and I will Lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith Yahweh our power. And we're gonna have some of that power on this side. All right, spiritual power. What do you think is gonna happen when we have immortality? All right, you're fucking done, out of here. So don't even be worried talking about be less oppressive. Motherfucker, you are out of your damn mind saying some shit like that. Straight up. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3. More evidence. Beginning in verse 19. It says, Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, southern kingdom of Israel, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. What land? Mainly America. Okay? Mainly America. And across the other land, you doing it down in Venezuela right now. Okay? Everywhere we are, you did nothing but kill, and destroy. Still, what's that? John 8:44. Devil comes to you're like your father, the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Okay, he was talking to wicked Israelites at that time, but it's true that's the truth about Esau, Edom. He is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Okay, he says, let me start that back from the top again. Egypt shall be a desolation. We know Egypt means house of bondage. Going back in the book of Exodus. All right, house of bondage, captivity. All right. And Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation. How do we do that? That's immortality right there. Now, you going to have your hands full when we don't have those new bodies and the Lord raises that standard, giving us spiritual power. What the fuck can you do against a nation of people who are very angry at you and know who you are and will do the bidding of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai? And these people can't die, his elect. You can't do a damn thing. And you earn every bit of this ass whooping that's coming to you. All right. So verse 20, again, that's when we're going to be in those new bodies. Immortality. There's nothing you can do against that. All right. Thus saith the scriptures. It says, for I will cleanse the blood that I have not cleansed, for the Lord dwelleth in Zion. All right. How does he cleanse the blood? All right. Joel 35:33. It's like in Numbers 35:33. And it reads, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. Our blood has definitely defiled this land, continues to do so. Okay. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Who shed that blood? You, Esau, Edom. You. We know that according to Ezekiel 35:5-6. All right, let me grab that. Yeah, I can do this all day long. And this is a prophecy against Mount Seir. That was the home given just south of Israel, okay, to the Edomites. In the NLT, it says a message for Edom. So this is talking to Edom. Shoot right to straight verses 5 and 6. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, continual, never-ending hatred, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, which is your blessing, according to Genesis chapter 27, okay, verses 38 through 41. All right. In the time of their calamity, and in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh our power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou have not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. All right. That's going back to that Colossians 3 and 25. He that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong that he has done. All right. Let me get this in the NLT. Ezekiel 35, verse 5 in the NLT. Your eternal hatred for the people of Israel led you to butcher them when they were helpless, when they had already punished, when I had already punished them for all of their sins. And that's right. We were helpless. All right. And you still trying to do it. Was that Israeli council was on U.S. soil? Judith Varney Shorer, a high ranking Israeli official. She said the number one problem for the state of Israel is the so called black youth of America. How is that the case? We all the way over here. We have no army. Okay. We have no weapons. Yet we're the number one problem. Yeah. You read the scriptures. She knows her people are a fraud. And now their own people also know that they're a fraud. You know, you have like that one lady in the video clip. She's admitting that she knows. A lot of them know. But that's going to be that problem that's talked about for them in Wisdom of Solomon 5. You know, roughly paraphrasing, they're going to marvel at the strangeness of our salvation. Like, damn, these were the people? Yep. We're the people. Mm-hmm. The ones you should have never fucked with. The apple of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's eye. All right. Start that back over in NLT. Says, your eternal hatred for the people of Israel led you to butcher them when they were helpless, when I had already punished them for all their sins. Verse 6 in the NLT. As surely as I live, saith the sovereign Lord, since you showed no distaste for blood, I will give you a bloodbath of your own. Your turn has come. Yeah, it's here. It's here. All right. Like I said, you have defiled our blood in this land. All right. And you're still here with us. Gaslighting, bragging about it. Coming to do even more damage with your Project 25, Agenda 2030. It's not gonna happen. Your MOTB, like the scriptures say, you're about to fill your belly. The Lord's gonna rain His wrath down on you. And yeah, if you know anybody who can, dodge raindrops, show them to me. You can't. No such person exists. All right. So yeah, we're here in captivity. And you still selling us, the trafficking. Yeah, what does Scripture say about that? This is Exodus 21 and 16. Yeah, buddy. And it reads, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Yep, transatlantic slave trade, and you're still trafficking to this very day. You're going to be put to death. I'm going to read that in the NLT too. It says, kidnappers must be put to death, whether they are caught in possession of their victims or have already sold them as slaves. Yeah, put to death. All right, I'm going to close out with this one. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, beginning in verse 9. And it reads, If any man have an ear, let him hear. All right. Any man with understanding, let him understand. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Who led us into captivity? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Now, mind you, we've been captive under other nations, you know, the Babylonians, the Assyrians, Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans, who are Edomites. Okay. And now we're back in revived Roman Empire. Medo-Persians. Yeah. All those people will be recompensed for what they did to us, and especially Ham for selling us. Okay. Zidon and Tyree. All right. Verse 10. Revelation 13, verse 10, and it reads, He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Okay, who are the saints? Those are the Israelites, according to Psalms 50 and 5, as well as Psalms 148, 13 and 14. Okay, so yeah, Esau, you know what you've done, you know what is coming, and you're not going to be able to stop it. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying to the elect body of the nation of Israel. Once again, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching me this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Abba Babal. We got next. Shalom.